Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, it's back, and that's right, the podcast that goes with it's back as well. Football's back, everybody, so you can't see the forest for the teas, boys. Come out of retirement to bring you all the updated football news. If you're not checking us out on YouTube, please do, because this one's got a video, and you know, it's nice to check out videos and YouTube and things like that. While you're there, you could just subscribe. That'd be super cool, and we would appreciate it. So here we go. This is CookieCast. You can't see the forest for the teas. Live.
So it used to be that, didn't it?
Yeah, back in the day.
It's not been for ages.
I know.
No, because I learned how to line up sound waves, so I didn't need it anymore.
And before you know it, we'll be doing zombie casts.
If I only. ZombieCast became hugely popular around about the time a certain pandemic kicked off.
Maybe people were looking for tips.
It is funny rewatching like Walking Dead, knowing what you know is happening at the moment. It's quite funny when you watch it. Anyway,
is it meant as a comedy?
Walking Dead?
No.
No, it's not. No. It's good though. Watch it.
Never been interested by it at all.
Me neither. But probably since our last football podcast, watched 9 seasons of it.
True
Yeah,
story.
James.
I know. Been absolutely casing it. It's good.
So, who's going to lead us off? Why are we here? It's been a while since we three kings gathered.
Well, since we last spoke, I believe we've had over 100 days where there was no English football. That's not even usual, like, for the break, is it?
No, because 100 days is 3.5 months near enough, isn't it?
Yeah. So, well, because you'd never have... Because even at the end of the season, you've still either got playoff games to get through, or...
Yeah. And Champions League now runs into...
That's June.
Start of June, and you're back...
Yeah.
Well, back in July. If you count in Europa League,
well,
yeah.
Pre-season games sometimes kick off late June, don't they? Early July and stuff. So you're normally not going more than, say, 6 to 8 weeks.
But I think it was exactly 100 days. I'm sure they did that so they could say that. But yeah, probably. 100 days it was, wasn't it?
It was a long 100 days as well. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Are you pleased with the result?
Although saying that, which we'll come to, it could have been 100 days more, and I probably wouldn't have been that bothered. So.
It'd be interesting to find out what those predictions we made all those weeks ago were.
Let's kick off with that then, shall we? Let's start as we mean to go on. We'll just dive straight back in with the Borough and the Forest coverage. Let's go for what did we predict was going to be the score in the Borough Swansea game and the Wednesday Forest game. Andrew, go.
Do you want to take Wednesday Forest first? I suspect we've got more to talk about with the Borough Swansea.
Right, yeah. Well, if you want to do it, if you want to play it that way, James, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, so in the Sheffield versus Nottingham Forest game, Paul Williams kicked us off with a 0-1. Do you want goal scorers?
When you say 0-1, was that Sheffield Wednesday 0 Forest one? So
How
close.
fucking close.
So close, Paul.
Right, so we'll come to that when we go through the details, but I probably will have gone for Graben.
Absolutely. James Panas, 0-2.
Not as close as Paul. I'd like to think that I went for Graben and Lolly.
Half of them you did. Lolly and Carvalho. And my good self, I mirrored Mr. Well, I didn't mirror. I went with the same as Mr. Panas, 0-2, with a Graben and a Lolly.
So
turns out Paul got very
none of
close
us
to
were
the exact
confident.
result, but has got less points than anyone.
So none of us were confident that Wednesday were even going to get on the score sheet.
No.
And yeah, it just dawned on me who got the goal.
Oh, did you not know?
I've forgotten.
Right, yeah. So, do you know the results? Have you done your research?
I have not done any research, I'm afraid.
Okay. So Forest took the lead with a Joe Lolly goal. They held that lead until I believe it was the 94th minute when Sheffield Wednesday equalised.
Oh,
That's what I say. Paul nearly got all the points.
1-1 then.
Got none of the points. I couldn't tell you. I don't know Wednesday scores. So poor man.
Oh, look.
Not that it really matters because none of us thought Wednesday get a goal. So
no.
It's good to have it for the sort of,
for the record.
Yeah.
Points for me and you there, James. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Oh dear, the Wednesday goal was scored by Connor Wickham. I didn't even know he was at Forest. Wednesday.
Now you've said it, I remember.
So, yeah.
Wickham.
Oh God, does that mean we have to go to the event at the River Dance then? Ugh.
Indeed, the other football that was predicted way back, all the way back, was in fact...
What did we each pick?
So Middlesbrough versus Swansea. You good self, Mr. Williams, you had a draw, 1-1. Do you want your goal scorers?
Would be good.
I'll probably have gone for either Wing or Fletcher, I think.
Nope.
Or was this back when I was like picking sort of nonsense players to score? Was it Hayden Coulson?
No, Tavernier.
Oh.
And
I think there's a fair chance you went for Brewster.
there's a very high chance you went for Brewster. James Panas, classic 2-1.
Never
To the Borough, apparently.
What are you thinking?
You decided Rudy was going to step up.
Rudy was scoring before lockdown, wasn't
And
he?
there was also going to be a classic wingy banger. And
right.
Now this is where me being silly and writing silly things down doesn't help when I have to read it back. I'm guessing the person was Ayew?
Yep.
Ayew, but I'm assuming you haven't put it down as that, have you?
No.
Have you put Ayew?
Nope.
He's put Ayo.
Nope. I put you. Still managed to read it back okay. And myself, apparently I decided that Middlesbrough was doing well at the time and went with a 1-0 with a classic wingy banger.
So to be fair, the last game before the lockdown they did win. So in theory they were in form.
Why do I get the feeling they were more in form for this game?
Annoyingly, because obviously I already know the score, I know that Paul's pulled it back in this result.
No, I haven't.
Got Brewster.
So I got 1 point.
Well, I don't think me and Andy got any points.
Well, Ayew scored the penner.
Did he?
Yeah.
And you know, I knew Brewster got 2, but I didn't realise I got the other one. So have I won?
What was the score?
So the result for the eagle-eyed amongst you that might have been able to work out that because Brewster scored twice and RU scored once,
3-0.
Middlesbrough 0, Swansea 3.
Was it 3-0 after half hour?
It was 3-0 after 34 minutes.
I did get a fairly frustrated text off Paul at one point.
Fucking hell.
Seriously, on the radio they were just saying, literally, like, without exaggeration, it could have been 5 at half time. Absolutely appalling. And I was joking with some friends who were all Borough fans before the game, and I was saying, "Oh, what's an acceptable score here? Anything under 3? Lol."
What scoreline would have kept a certain Jonathan Woodgate his job?
0-0. I don't think, to be honest, James, I don't think it was the result that ended up doing for him. I think it was the fact that they just looked absolutely lost.
Yeah.
There was no shape, no discipline, nothing. Like, it was just like.
Do you know what? I think
he picked 11 players and just said, "Go out and just basically have a kickabout."
I think it's a bit harsh after one game because when you look at like a lot of the Premier, because obviously like Division 1, Championship have only played one game so far, but the first round of Premier games was dog shit as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think you've got to give like that first game to break back into it.
Yeah, but not when you've only won 9 games all season.
But you went into lockdown in a really
let's be honest,
form.
He's not been sacked based on the one result against Swansea, has he? He's been sacked based on the fact that he hasn't got results all season. So, obviously, we're jumping ahead slightly here. So, yeah, in case anyone wasn't aware, that was Jonathan Woodgate's final game in charge of Middlesbrough, as he's now been sacked. Strange enough, though, apparently he's still within the club.
What?
Apparently they want to keep him on. They want to keep him on the staff. They just haven't had a role for him yet.
It's not a Jason Garrett situation, is it? Where he just turned up for work the next day and they were like, "Didn't we fire you yesterday?" He's like, "Yeah, but I've got work to do, so I'm in." It's like, it's not how it works, mate.
They're not going to be like, "Oh, he just needs a break, and we'll just have him again in another year's time or something." Like, he just needs.
Wasn't the last conversation about this about how it was going to cost too much money to fire him?
Well, that's what I thought. I thought they wouldn't get rid of him because it would cost. So at the start of the season, I think he gave him a 3 or possibly even a 4-year contract. And obviously, to terminate his contract, you have to agree
you have to buy him out.
Severance fund.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you either have to pay him off for the full 3 years, or that are agreed some sort of settlement. But
I don't understand that, That.
If he's been
say again. Well, if someone was shit at our work, they'd get fired. We won't pay them for like another 3 years.
Yeah, but if you think about it, we don't sign a specific we don't sign a specific year of contract, do we? We just got like a rolling contract.
I know what Andy's thinking. I know what you're thinking, but
yes, I know what Andy's thinking as well.
Sure on that one, James. Sure about that.
Entirely.
Sure.
What off is that? But you know what I mean.
But yeah, the point is that like obviously it's different when you sign a contract for a specified amount of time.
Yeah. There's something in the water up north east, isn't there, about these long contracts? I mean, I know it's not an 8-year Pardew contract, but 4 years for Woodgate in his first managerial job.
To be fair, it might have only been 3. I might have plucked the 4 out of like thin air.
3 still. That's not
risk.
normal for your first job, is it?
You know what? You would have thought that it would have made more sense to have said to him, "Listen, we'll give you 2 years."
Well, I'd have just gone with one with an option or something.
Well, but apparently, so they did that with. So Robbie Keane was only given a year, and he was one of his coaching staff because apparently he's gone because he said that the contract was running out at the end of the season anyway. So I'd have only been here till the end of June, as it
was.
There's
no point working with
no point in sticking
for
around.
like another month. Yeah.
I think that's basically what he was saying. So Robbie Keane's gone, but the other 2 of the coaching staff have stuck around, which are both
that goalie coach. Yeah, he's the character, isn't he? Yeah, well, anyway, that's good. So replacement, presumably, that came at the same time as the sacking, so presumably already lined up before they fired.
Yeah, this has all been covered. So in the press conference that the gentleman who took over did, it's all come out that he'd spoken to Steve the night before, so he could drive up from Cornwall, because that's where he lives.
I was going to say,
so that's a nice 8-hour journey or something like that. So he's obviously called him in the middle of the day, because I can't see him making the drive at night. So
did you see that?
This is exactly what happens. So back in the day when they sacked Southgate, back in 2009, 2010 maybe, Strachan was in within days of him getting sacked, and it was a case of had you spoken to Steve Gibson before Southgate was sacked? And he was like, well, I don't want to betray any confidentiality or anything. But yeah, I'd spoken to him when Southgate was still employed. So yeah. I think it's a contingency plan more than anything else to speak to somebody to agree something before.
At least yours was he's been fired and Collins taken over, right? You imagine that at the start of this season, so we had 2 press conferences. Martin O'Neill's been fired. 17 minutes later, oh yeah, we've now hired this guy. But it wasn't done at the same time. It was 2 separate events.
That was pretty funny. But
he's just got another 2 years, I think, added on. Because I think they've done him on a 1 year, right? Yeah.
Well, that makes... Unless it's someone that you're absolutely guaranteed is going to work out. I don't see why, in this current climate, I don't see how any club is employing a manager for more than a year at a time. It just don't make any sense. Because you're going to end up shooting yourself in the foot. I know you want the security, and you don't want someone to come and poach the manager, but there's surely got to be ways around it and stuff like that. But especially the lower down the league structure you go, you can't have League 2 sides and League 1 sides giving out 4-year manager contracts, because they'll just get absolutely.
How much managerial poaching goes on though? You hear more about managers being fired.
As soon as one job becomes available, someone has to step up and fill that job, don't they? So the saying goes is that when you get a new role, it's very few times you step into a role where the team's doing well.
Yeah, well, your man who went to Stoke and then ended up going back to the club he left to go to Stoke. Who was that?
Nathan Jones?
Yeah.
So he's gone back in at Luton.
Was that Luton? Yeah. But Luton were flying high, properly flying high in League 1 at that time.
They won League 1.
But he'd left before they won it though, didn't he?
Yeah. They were leading League 1 when he went to Stoke, and then obviously
they got promoted to the same division as Stoke.
They got promoted. Stoke didn't go up. He shat the bed at Stoke, so Stoke replaced him with the Northern Ireland boss, Michael O'Neill, and then he's basically just gone back to Luton. So
yeah, to answer your question, I think it probably happens more than you might think, Andy.
I mean, as far as I was aware, it was just sackings left, right and centre. I can't say I've ever heard a conversation along the lines of so-and-so was poached from X club to go to Y club.
Well, you'll always see, so say, if a Premier League team's struggling, unless they bring in an experienced person, more often than not, they'll look to a team that's doing well in the Championship and try and get their manager if they can afford it and stuff like that. So and he'd class that as poaching the manager, because obviously they've had to pay a severance or a compensation fee to get him.
And I think it depends on the reputation of that manager, because I'm quite surprised that Bielsa's still at Leeds, if I'm honest, because he comes with quote pedigree, doesn't he?
Yeah, but if you think about it, he's in a position where he's not doing it for the money, is he? He's doing it for the challenge.
Yeah.
So
He's been sold. He's been sold a vision at Leeds, hasn't he? Clearly. So.
Well, yeah, he's been sold on the. What's the word? The project.
Yeah.
Leeds is the project for him, isn't it? So he'll be doing that until he gets him promoted, which will probably be in about 3 games' time or whatever.
I don't mind Leeds as much as you, right? So, and I'd like to see Leeds in the Premier League because they're a better club for the Premier League than a Bournemouth or a Brighton. It turns out, I still maintain that Villa are a good Premier League team. They look like they're going to shit it as well. But
whilst I don't debate it, it's not the club that I have a problem with.
Oh, it's the supporters.
In the same way that I don't have a problem with Liverpool as a team, I have a problem with the fact that Liverpool supporters are just en masse. Just so it's basically there's 3 sets of supporters that are just universally stupid and just irritating.
I'm wondering where his third one is here.
Leeds, Liverpool, Newcastle fans.
Newcastle
fans, they always go on about this. They go on about this big club mentality. They haven't won anything for 60 years.
Tell you what, they get that bloody sheikh who's got 300 times more than the Man City sheikh or whatever. They'll be winning something soon.
Yeah, but it keeps getting shot down, doesn't it?
I know. See, is it like the Newcastle the only Premier League team who currently hasn't offered any kind of reduction or refund of season tickets?
Well, Matt was saying the other day, apparently Forest have asked the fans to forego any refund on the season tickets that they haven't been able to use for the games, so that the team doesn't fall foul of the financial fair play regulations.
The first I've heard, but you've just reminded me that in May we were supposed to start building that other stand was supposed to start in May.
Oh yeah.
But I've not thought about what's happening with that. Because they were having to relocate. I mean, now would be the time, to be fair, because the worry was that they were having to relocate a load of season ticket holders, and where did they put them? Because they were going to be building it. I think it was starting in May, and we were going to take about 6 months, so you'd lose some of next year's.
So was the whole point that they're going to knock the whole stand down?
They're knocking down, so the opposite one to where we went, so the Peter Taylor stand, the shed, as it were, knocking all that down. And also, do you remember that where we were to the left, which is Bridgeford end, only half of that end is double tier. So they were going to make that all double tier and then into a so it's just tidy it up. And I think that was going to push it from 30,500 to 38,000 or something. I think.
Yeah, well, I mean that sort of works, doesn't it? So.
And we sell a lot of season tickets, and we get fairly consistently high attendances. So you'd think that we'd be able to kind of put the people in those extra seats. But obviously
there's always a way around it, isn't there? They're probably just
assuming that we don't
reduce the away capacity or something like that.
Yeah, assuming that we don't go up, 38,000 won't be that high when West Ham drop into Championship next year with 60,000 seat a stadium or whatever they've got. Can you imagine that? I can remember the last time West Ham got relegated.
What do you mean?
Well, it's not that long ago, is it?
2012 something like that?
Well, to be honest, I thought it was a bit further away back than that.
Yeah, because they were down about 7 or 8 seasons ago, and then they won the playoff final. Because whenever they've got relegated, they've only won the playoff final to go back up. They haven't got automatic either time they've been relegated. So,
what are we drinking, Paul? Anything good?
That is a juice.
Ah.
Sadly, not a wanky. Save myself for the weekend.
What was for the weekend?
Dude, it's too fucking warm. Too fucking warm to be drinking today. I swear, this is like my sixth pint of like juice of the day or something like that.
You need to go get checked for diabetes, pal.
No, Jim. It's just really warm.
Yeah. This is the first time I've had a t-shirt on in 2 days. I was nearly going to be rocking the dench for this podcast.
What a proper wife beater.
And the rest. Sun's out, fat arms out. Are you wanting to review your choices for the upcoming games then?
Yes.
If you reel them off, and we'll react accordingly. Let's put it that way.
By review, are we allowing a change?
Well, technically, I'll need to replace the bets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got money down here. First of all,
I think you confirmed we were refunded for the last set, weren't we, Paul?
We were indeed.
the first of our games in the book is Nottingham Forest versus Huddersfield.
Well, now they've actually asked around with the fixtures. That is the second of the two matches.
Okay, so Stoke versus
Sunday,
Borough.
Stoke and Borough. What did Stoke do at the weekend?
So I'd like to think that I went for an optimistic draw.
Yeah,
Did I go one apiece?
of the three of us, apparently I'm the most optimistic.
I was going to say, I've got a feeling that I probably thought that was going to be 0-0.
Draw, and a score. Mr. Williams 2-2. Mr. Panas 1-1. And I believe Middlesbrough will be a 1-0. So, any thoughts?
I'm happy enough with 1-1. I'll stick.
So, given the fact that we've got a new manager, and therefore we'll probably be having a new approach of tact, I would like to revise my pick, if I may. I'm still gonna stick with the same result, but I'm gonna drop it to, double bagels. I reckon we'll literally want to get back to basics. Block of 4 at the back, 4 in the midfield, if not or maybe 2 in the midfield with 3 behind the main striker. But
is he going to basically play with the same starting 11, Paul? Or is there a forgotten manner that you can see coming back?
There's a lot of talk of it being a bit of a return to Pulis Ball Mark II. So there's a lot of thought that it could be pretty much when Pulis was at West Brom. He had a bit of a knack for playing 4 centre halves across the back 4. Now, whilst I don't think Colin is quite that much of a pragmatist, I reckon I'll be very surprised if he doesn't stick with a flat back 4. And I think if he sticks with a flat back 4, he'll probably put Ryan Shotton at right back. And I kind of hope he doesn't stick with George Friend at left back, based on how George Friend performed at left back against Swansea. He was just getting absolutely torched every time he touched the ball.
But would the other options be to put Coulson at left back, and will he want to have a forward-thinking fullback in fullback?
I don't know. If he does go that way, I can't see it anywhere, because I don't think Coulson's I don't think he's disciplined enough to play as a left back. He's okay playing as a left wing back,
yeah,
because he can get up and down. But I don't think he's disciplined enough to stick as a left back and only go to the halfway line and stop. Maybe encroach a little bit after that. He'll want to get forward too much. He's almost playing like at the moment, he's almost playing like a left winger at times. So
yeah. Who played in nets at weekend? Because did Pearsley lose his space just before lockdown?
Yeah. So the last game before the lockdown, he brought in this new keeper, this Stojanovic.
Oh, you won with a clean sheet, right?
Yeah, I think as well because it's Warnock. I think he'll probably adopt the approach of stick with the experienced heads. Don't really put that much faith in the youth to sort of get started with. So I think he'll probably stick with the older keeper for that reason.
How are you doing on front line? Is your Man City man gone back, or has the loan been extended to end of play?
No, he's still there. He started the game on Saturday against Swansea and was pretty terrible by all accounts.
Didn't look good when I seen him.
No, so I imagine he might want to stick with like a big man, little man up top. So he might even go Gusted and Assombalonga. You never know. I suppose we'll just have to wait and see. You never know. He might have changed in his 71st year.
Did you see that on the internet about now they've revived that quote he said when he'd been out of work a little bit after Sheffield United and then went to Palace and told the world that this would definitely be his last job in football. How many clubs has he been at since?
At least 3.
Right. We're going to take a little break.
Are we going to pause it?
A very short break to restart the old meeting off again, and we'll find out whether James wants to keep his score the same, whether I'm keeping my score the same, and what we think that Forest are going to do. So 2 seconds, and we'll be right back.
Sweet.
Right, there we go.
After a word from our sponsors.
Word from our sponsors, who are Middlesbrough Football Club and Nottingham Forest. So, we know what scores we had picked. Paul has opted for a change. Mr. Panas.
I'm happy with my 1-1. I'm just trying to think in what space I might have thought goal scorers. Now, I was probably dumb as fuck and said Rudy Gusted for Borough. Did I not?
No, you've gone quite outside the box on this.
Really?
Ah.
Have I gone Savile?
No.
Has he gone Coulson?
No, I wouldn't go for Coulson, I don't think.
No, you picked Coulson. But Mr. Panas has gone well outside the box.
Who's your big centre back who scored that diving header at OG?
MacLeod.
Did I go in?
You did.
Is he still playing for?
Didn't start last week.
But on your basis of 4 centre backs could be coming out. Do you know what? I'll go with him.
He didn't start on Saturday, and then apparently after the game, he went off with the physio for like a private session.
Right,
so I don't know if there's rumours that he's not 100% fit.
Right. Okay. Let me go. Can I change then?
You're just changing your goal scorer.
Yeah, I go to Rudy.
You never learn, do you?
I don't know who I would have picked
for punishment.
I don't know who I would have picked for Stoke. I've gone Lucas.
Indeed.
Go on then.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Yeah, one was good. I'm happy.
I'm happy to stick with mine.
How cloudy and amazing does that look? Sam would like that.
So that brings us to the Nottingham Forest Huddersfield game. Somebody Somebody's had a lot of faith in this one.
Did I go 4-0 last time?
You absolutely did.
Right. Paul, what did Huddersfield do at the weekend?
I want to say defeat, but there was. I was playing golf. I was playing golf at the time on Saturday, so I think there was an awful lot of teams that scored last-minute equalisers. One of which was Stoke. So Stoke scored a 92nd minute equaliser on the restart to get a 1-1 draw with Reading, and it was scored by Nick Powell.
Holy shit! Arsenal are going to win.
I know. I'm currently watching it as we speak.
And Burnley beating Watford as well.
They are indeed.
Were we Saturday on Championship? We were, weren't we?
Saturday.
Huddersfield lost 2-0 to Wigan. God, that must have been a game. Do you know what? I'm going to stick with 4-0.
Okay.
So ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Lewis 2. Oh, I'm just trying to think what I would have gone for before. Did I go Lewis 2 last time? Lewis 1.
You've got.
There's no way I'm picking 4 goals about Lewis.
You've got 4 individual goal scorers for your
right,
4
if I can name them, I'm going to stick
goals.
with them then. Lewis.
Absolutely.
Joe. Really? I picked 4 goals and none of them was Lolly. What was I thinking?
What were you thinking, James?
Right, okay.
One of these names, I'm like,
Who's that?
Was it Walker?
no. You're going to wish it was.
Sambasau?
Semedo.
You love Semedo for a goal.
Who doesn't?
I'm guessing Amiobi would have been on the score.
Is one of them, yes.
But that's not the out of the box one that you. Who have I picked?
Jenkinson.
He was actually on the bench, because now they've increased the benches, you know.
He's managed to make it to the bench now, has he? Oh, well done.
Only because we're allowed 9 on the bench, I guess. I'm just trying to think who I would. If Andy's not heard of him or I've not used him before,
I've heard of him.
It's just not one I use.
But it's not a common pick.
Watson.
Well, I would say that's not a common pick in Paul's eyes, but I picked Watson a fair bit at the start of the season.
And you have picked Watson this time, so that's 3 of your 4.
But that's not the one that you...
That's still not the one.
What's the kid who scored against Borough?
Yates. You hate Yates.
He doesn't.
Has he picked him?
Because Paul's picked him to score, so you can't hate him that much. Paul's also picked an outside the box one.
Not Amiobi then.
That's not outside the box though, is
No,
it?
Panas picked Amiobi. You haven't.
Oh, what's his name? Is it Ribeiro or something like that?
Left back, Ribeiro. But I think... Let me just double check something. I think I know who.
This must be comedy gold for anyone who's listening or watching.
Anybody
Come on.
Anybody who's a listener who can remember what was picked right now will be screaming.
This is why we can't remember, because we don't watch it, because we're in it. Incidentally though, I'll plug you, what do you call it? One of your ugly aunties, how did that get like 110 views in like 2 days or something? Is that like grills on the internet or?
Don't even get me started.
I think I might have worked it out.
You're going to get it before me, aren't you?
Is it Figueiredo?
Figueiredo was Paul Williams' pick for the other goal scorer.
James Panas. I can't even think where on the pitch his other pick would have come from.
Is he a winger, Andy?
How was Andy going to know that?
Yeah. He's a left back winger, goalie. Forward.
I think I might have gone for. I'm just looking back through the plays. Oh! I know. I've got two. All this time I thought it was going to be Dick Carby. Oh, is it?
It is.
I was just about to change my mind to John Bostock at the last second.
Because I was going to give you a clue, and I was like, I'd definitely have a Coke with it.
Why have you picked Diakabi? You absolutely hate him. You think he's terrible.
I will give you that question back about Yates.
Yeah, but he somehow managed to shithouse his way to scoring against the Borough every time he plays against them.
So I've got Watson, Amiobi, Graben, and Diakabi.
Yes, those are your four goal
What the
scorers.
fuck was I thinking, Andrew?
Mr. Williams has done
Can
Yates
change
and
my Diakabi,
Figueiredo,
please?
and
I don't even think
I've gone
Watson's played
vanilla
that
with Cash for a 1-0.
Yeah, I'm going to change two of mine if that's all right.
I think we should only let him change one.
Watson didn't play in the last game. He wasn't even in the squad.
Oh dear.
So that's not a good start. So scratch off my Watson. Right. So
Definitely
we'll have a bit of Joe Lolly.
Okay.
Do you want to scratch off my Diakabi? I'm just going to get shit for this. I'm going to go for, because I think he's going to play again, I'm going to go for Brennan Johnson getting a goal.
Who the hell is that kid?
Made his debut last week.
Also, who was C. Ivanildo?
That's what Sky Sports call Thiago Silva.
Ah, right, okay. I would also like to revise my choice.
Oh, okay.
Not fancy Ribeiro for a goal or whatever.
Well, you know, he might pop up from left back.
Mm-hmm.
What was the score that I went for?
2-0.
Can I up it by 1? Now this is more in hope rather than expectation because
Oh, please tell me you're saying Bryce Samba.
Do you know what? I'd love to. I'd love it if he scores before the end of the season. That would be brilliant. I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal. If he scores before the end of the season, I'll happily buy a Samba goalkeeper shirt to wear when I'm playing.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm saying it more in hope than expectation because Huddersfield are a point above Borough but with a worse goal difference. So I'm hoping that you can sort of pump them.
Of course we will.
If we do get a point, we'll jump above them anyway, and then we'll be in a better position than they are. So fuck them. Do you know what? Stick me down for a grab and hat trick.
Right.
Done.
What was the game that really fucked you over last weekend?
Loads of them.
Charlton beating Hull was fucking.
Wigan beat Huddersfield. Charlton beat Hull. Luton were winning. Barnsley won.
No, Luton weren't winning. Luton were losing.
Oh, were they losing? Oh.
Yeah. Because that was a good goal for Forest with that Luton equaliser.
I see. But yeah, it was kind of apart from Hull and Huddersfield, everyone else that was in the bottom four, in the bottom sort of 6 or 7, got some form of positive result. So
some interesting games actually. I know that we're focused around ours, but obviously like Leeds losing, West Brom drawing. I'm not happy that Forest blew it at the end. If we'd have got a win, that would have been a fantastic round for us. Because even though Brentford just above us won, they obviously took points off Fulham, which bunched it up a bit there. So Leeds have lost and kind of it's gone their way. What's he doing now?
I'm trying to work out what the games were because I didn't even realise that Brentford had won that game.
Brentford beat Fulham. It was the early game. That's probably why, but it was 2 late goals.
Well, yeah, but what else was the early game?
Was there a Premier game that I wasn't watching?
No, Middlesbrough versus Swansea, you gimp.
Well, it's because it wasn't on Sky, man.
I know, terrible.
Yeah. Oh, that fella got a hat-trick for Derby, didn't he?
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Never heard of him.
No doubt you'll absolutely despise him. So.
Do you know what? I don't really care about Derby because they're not a contender.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Are you sticking with your original pick then, Andy, or are you changing up?
I'm happy with everything that I've got there. It's all fairly low, and I picked some classics for scorers, so I'm happy.
Right. Well, give us 2 minutes and we'll put the bets on. So I've gone for.
So we're doing this. I mean, I know I'm going to break the magic of the internet now, but we're doing this on a Thursday. Will we be coming back? When will we be coming back for the next one? Because I noticed that Borough play Thursday again next week. It's the early kick-off, isn't it?
Well, our next game should be Hull.
It's Hull on Sky at 5 o'clock next Thursday.
Sounds like a special guest star to me.
I think we might have to get a special guest involved.
Absolutely.
However, I don't think he's going to be that happy about it because I think he's just sort of let football just die. So.
Wow.
So we're looking at maybe doing it on a Wednesday then,
or maybe a Tuesday, possibly. We'll see if we can sneak it in, but we should be able to get it in. Well, I'm hoping we'll be able to get it in before the actual game. So, Andy, my picks: 0-0 Stoke Borough and 3-0 Forest will net me £156.50.
156.50. Cool.
Just looking at fixtures, Forest play at 6 o'clock on Wednesday and Borough play 5 o'clock on Thursday, so Tuesday.
So we need to do it Tuesday, basically.
Ideally, the only game to watch on Tuesday is Brighton Man United at 8:15. So
that's fine then. Right, what did you go for in the Stoke Borough game, James? 1 each?
Stoke Borough, 1 each. 1 each.
So James's double is 305 to 1.
You see, Brentford have obviously done Fulham at the end of the last game, and their reward is West Brom in the next game. That's tough, isn't it, that?
So the top four playing each other?
Because Leeds have got...
Brentford, West Brom and Fulham Leeds? Fulham Leeds?
Yeah.
Nice. Andy, what had you gone for in the Forest Huddersfield game?
1-0 to Forest.
And Stoke Borough?
1-0 to Borough.
So you're definitely the much more conservative in the bunch because your double's only going to pay £54.20.
Wow.
You've actually already got a better goal difference than Huddersfield, Paul.
Yeah, I did see that, but you know, every little helps and stuff.
Yeah.
Especially when it's so tight down there. I mean, like looking at the league, you'd say that anyone up to
Wigan,
anyone up to Birmingham, you could argue, could still get sucked into it.
Well, since Reading and Wednesday are only one point above Birmingham, yeah. And
maybe say
really,
that QPR is safe because they've got to 50 points, but you'd say that Reading downwards, if they lose the next couple of games and the results go the wrong way, they're straight into.
QPR are only one point in front of Reading and 1 point in front of Wednesday with a lesser goal difference. So you'd really say that probably Derby's the cut-off point.
Yeah, no, but they say 50 points, don't they? They say 50 points is pretty much the magic number, in the same way that 40 points is the magic number in the Premier League.
Oh, I'll tell you what. When was last time someone went down with 39? It must be. I think since the top clubs have been taking a ridiculous amount of points. I think the 40-point cut-off is more like about 37, 38 these days, isn't it?
Yeah, probably, I suppose. Because they went down last season. Fulham, Cardiff.
Fulham, Cardiff, and
Huddersfield.
Fucking hell, Huddersfield in Premier League last year.
Yeah. I think at the start of the season, I think I might have even tipped them for a double drop.
Wow. Well, yeah.
Plus, in theory, there's some of our season-long bets that we never actually got a chance to settle on, such as promotion and relegation. So, bear with me.
Well, as I remember from Premier League, I pretty much tipped, I think, Newcastle, Brighton, and someone else. Sheffield United, I think. All gone.
So, according to this, one of us is technically on for a relegation thing. So, one of us picked Bolton to go down from League 1 and Macclesfield to go down from League 2. So technically Macclesfield hadn't been relegated, but they did finish in the bottom 2.
But they were waiting
because 2 were supposed to go down, they're paying out on that as being a settled bet. So,
is that me?
The other 2 teams that were picked in this fourfold relegation thing were Norwich to go down from the Premier League.
Oh, I didn't pick that.
And Barnsley to go down from the Championship.
Is it you?
I don't know. It doesn't. Obviously, I just see the bet.
I don't. So think Andy has to go down.
I don't think it's in that book, Andy. I think it's in another book that was started before that season. So unless that's been the same book since the start of the season.
No, this is last season. I think you've got last season in this book, haven't you?
Oh, in that case, we might be all right then.
I think we're all right. But when you said Macclesfield, that sounds like something I would have gone for. But
yeah, I don't know if it is.
I think I had somewhere Birmingham to go down.
I'd love it if I could roll this. It turns out this is Andy's pick.
Right.
It's sure looking. What's the chances that Charlton get pulled back into this?
Oh, they're not safe. They're up like a point above us, aren't they?
But has it ever happened before?
Relegations.
Clubs all get relegated.
Who have you got? Brighton?
No, I went. So that's me.
No, I went Brighton. I'm pretty sure.
Was one of them Bolton?
Yeah.
Which one of us had Norwich to go down?
Is it Andy?
It's Andy's bet. Amazing. Now, Andy, you should be pulling for Norwich and Barnsley to both get relegated. Then you'll have won the pot.
Norwich.
£44.70 by any chance?
Let's be honest. There's no way Norwich are not getting relegated.
And we've also got goal scorer bets that are still active technically.
Yeah. I wanted to talk.
However,
about
who picked Sergio Aguero to be the top scorer in the Premier League? Is it Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's had knee surgery or ankle surgery or something like that. So I don't think he's going to be scoring any more goals this season. And I hate to break it to you, Andy, but I don't think Britta Sombolonga's got double figures. So I don't think you're winning that one, Chief.
No.
However, you have picked. So someone has picked Aubameyang and Graben as the respective top goal scorers. Again,
outside.
Probably not going to happen with Graben. Graben might get it, but I think Mitrovic is about 10 ahead of him or something like that.
I think I saw it because someone said it's weird because West Brom and Leeds are like smashed in the division, but don't have a high scoring individual. But Fulham, Brentford and Forest, who are stacking up behind him, have the 3 top scorers in the division, I think. But I didn't catch who the Brentford one was. Presumably Watkins.
You'd imagine so. Well, haven't they got somebody else? Not Ben Rama.
Ben Rama, yeah. I don't think he scored enough to be at the top.
I don't think it's him, though. Maybe it is Watkins. Either way,
well, I mean,
you two have absolutely been blown out of the water by my pick for Championship top scorer.
Zaha!
Kenneth Zaha! Right, seriously, without looking, right, I'll set the line of 5.5 goals, over or under for the season for Kenneth Zaha.
5.5? Under.
Yeah, what do you reckon? Over or under?
Under.
Look. Andy, what do you reckon? Do you reckon he scored more or less than 5.5 goals this season?
See, I reckon you set the line bang on. Obviously, it can't be 5.5, but I reckon it's 5 or 6.
I was going to say, I reckon it's 6.
Okay, so in his 15 Championship games,
it's not even going to be 5.
He scored 3 goals.
Yeah, I thought he would have played more than 15.
So I'm really happy that I picked him. Absolutely atrocious. 8 million quid.
So am I on for
waste of spirits.
So am I on for the golden boots between? Even though I might not get the highest one, I'm leading out.
Well, obviously it's a case of in our little predictions game. You obviously have the two goal scorers together, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And it's whoever's got the highest number overall of the 2 players picked.
So I reckon
at this point,
I'm feeling good with Graben and Aubameyang.
Yeah, so how many's Aubameyang got? Like 14?
Prior to lockdown, I think he was around like the Rashford level of a few behind Vardy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So
something like that.
So I think
you've pretty much got that sewed up, unless in these last 8 games, Sombolonga gets an absolute second wind and just scores 18 goals or something between now and the end of the season.
You don't think Kenneth's got it in his locker?
To be fair, if he does, I'll be having an erection section. So.
See, you all laughed at me with the Graben shout at the start of the year.
60 goals by end of season?
No, I don't think we did.
I think you did. But annoyingly, I picked Graben because he's my team. If I'd not picked Graben, I absolutely would have been on Mitrovic. He was clearly going to be the top goal scorer.
Well, I think my exact words were, all he does is score goals. He doesn't seem to do anything else for the team, he just scores.
Who, Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the way he plays, he's super fucking isolated up top all the time.
Well,
I tell you what though, did you see Lolly's goal at weekend?
I haven't seen
I only saw it.
The only reason I saw the Borough goals was because they were showing him on Sky Sports News.
The only reason I watched it is because followed Cash on Insta, and he was bigging his assist up. It's like a 50-yard pass into Lolly's like run, and Lolly's just got one touch past the defender and then just finished it. It's good.
Nice.
But it's just it's a long ball from right back to right wing, cut inside, and hits it on your left. But all works though, doesn't it?
You all go in the back of the net.
Instantly. Is anyone else enjoying the coming out of lockdown hairdos? There's some crackers knocking around in football. But the thing is though, I'm sure they've got access to people who can cut their hair, but it's like they're all keeping it long to prove I have been isolated. I've definitely not been anywhere near anyone who can cut their hair. Like,
Yeah, like,
did you see last night? Roy Hodgson's hair. Roy Hodgson's got loads of hair. Loads of it.
But for every person who's not done anything with it, you see someone who's got like Adam Clayton had like a perfectly shaved side, and then just like massively long and swept back on top. Just like, what the fuck?
Did you see all those pictures of Ashley Young with hair? And they were like, all these years we thought he was just bald, but he just like he had because he was like a shiny skinhead, wasn't he? That was all off. They were like, he's done it out of choice because he's got proper hair.
Well, yeah.
And obviously the other one, which we knew, was the best thing of lockdown is the what do you call it? The rebirth of Andros Townsend's hairline.
Yeah, he's got a proper afro going on. He's got massive hair. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Did you see the pictures of Bobby Firmino with long hair as well? That's funny because he's normally got like a proper, like tight, high fade cut.
I haven't seen that, but have you seen the pictures of where they've sort of doctored Mane's hairline, and they've sort of put, this is what he'd look like if he had a regular person's hairline, and he's just got like a full head of hair, as opposed to it stopping like there, and he's just having like a 6 head.
What was the other one that everyone's been taking the piss out of? I tell you what, Mane, his hairline is good compared to Aubameyang. Aubameyang's hairline. That's on top of his head. It's on top of his head. I can't think of any other good cuts. Or lack of cuts in lockdown though. Messi's come back looking Italian, I think. Everyone's been saying.
Well, just
because he shaved the beard off and just got long hair again.
Oh, you not got a beard?
I think the beard was gone for Barca's game a couple of weeks ago, or whenever they came back.
Interesting.
Cristiano Ronaldo's rocking the top knot these days, isn't he, as well?
Of course, yeah. I don't really get that. Come on, Cristiano.
I can't think of any other ones. What was it? Jordan Henderson rocked up with a full onside party last night. Like proper 50s style haircut. That is amazing, that one.
Look at that beauty.
It's just the shape he's got in it as well, where it just like...
It's full-blown Wolverine.
It's unbelievable.
Have you got the comparison shot, Brandy, though? Of what, he's the Newcastle...
I am trying to find it, because someone had put out like a tweet or something that was like the biggest sort of comeback from the coronavirus was Andros Townsend's hairline.
Yeah, it's the one in the Newcastle strip, isn't it, where he's like got a proper receding hairline, and then he just comes back looking like That's the one. It's incredible. I can't think of any other ones.
He must have had some sort of work done there, because that's...
Yeah. I think I've seen some lockdown videos of Kante with hair, which is weird. Can't really remember anyone else. But I'll tell you what, I don't know if you've been watching any Spanish football. Sergio Ramos looking particularly grisly post-lockdown.
Yeah, but he just looks like a bit of a tool anyway, doesn't he? So.
Do you know what? I think he's a fantastic player, Sergio Ramos.
You seem to have some sort of warped sense of everything that's normal.
Because I don't like Kane.
You don't like Kane? You like Liverpool? You want Man United to do well?
Yeah.
You dislike Man City?
Yeah.
You're really weird.
Thanks.
You're really weird. And I think because of that, James, I think we should bring this to an end.
I was going to say, is there anything you want to... Is there anything you want to cover before we wrap up?
Well, because we've got a 10-minute warning and also the football starting.
A 10-minute warning that was 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. I've got nothing else. We've covered the restart. We've covered the fact that Borough have just shat bed and thought, oh, we need to do something.
I've got a question, which Paul might be able to answer. Go and ask my dad this. I've not heard. What's the plan for the European campaigns?
As in the Champions League and the Europa League?
Yeah.
So
I've not heard anything.
The Champions League has been... There's some sort of agreement that it's going to take place in one location.
Oh, do you know, I heard that weeks and weeks and weeks ago, right at the start, that might be somewhere.
Yeah, so apparently it's looking like it's going to end up in Lisbon, I think was the sort of agreed thing. But I don't know if it'll be a case of they'll play out the rest of the games as much they can, and then they'll get to... Like
the last four go and play.
So what was it? Because it was last 16. Was it last 16 we were at the moment?
Last 8 in Europa and last 16 in Champions, I think.
Yeah.
Europe is always a bit faster.
Because was it the first 4 ties had already been settled? Because you had...
Liverpool were out, aren't they?
Liverpool were out, Spurs were out.
Well, in fact, Liverpool played the night before lockdown got announced, didn't it?
Chelsea and City were still due to play, weren't they?
Yeah, because they were all saying that if it had come one day earlier, Liverpool would still be in it, and because they had a shocking night, didn't they? So, shame.
Yeah.
All right, okay. No, I'd heard that initially, so that makes sense.
Well, it's lovely to have the football back. It's lovely to have you two gentlemen back. I'm sure as time goes on, we'll see various different changes to the sport itself. But obviously, we can cover that going forward. Thank you both for joining me, taking the time out. I'll let you both go and enjoy the football that is taking place right now.
Yeah, in approximately 95 minutes, Liverpool could be champions.
Correct.
And on that sour note, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much, gentlemen. So there we go. What do you think to that? We're back. Just like the football, we're back. Yeah. YouTube watchers, do subscribe. Please, please, please do subscribe. That'd be super cool. And if you could tell someone else to do the same, that would also be super cool. So yeah, that's cool. Everybody jump over to thecookiecast.com. Check us out over there. And you can send us some love, social media, email. We accept all kinds of love. So there we go. That's it for this one. Until next time, I'm going to say bye. And I'll see you then.